I'm announcing my new website, CanadianSilverBullion.com. I saw a need to create a website that could get silver to the everyday average person who doesn't have, thousands of dollars to make a silver purchase. So I thought I would give this a shot. If I can be of service to anybody, then I'm very pleased. We'll see if it works, I guess. We'll see. Well, if I can be of service, then I can be of service, and if I can't, then I'll just shut it down. Hey guys, it's September the 12th, 2013, and this video is, about the closing of my website, CanadianSilverBullion.com. Well, the almost closing, and I will go into that. But first, a little history. The website started over 4 years ago in June of 2009, when I noticed there was a need for something like it in Canada. There was almost nowhere, in fact, nowhere, to buy silver in Canada on the internet and have it shipped to your house. And there were some American websites, but there was problems with importing the silver across the border, costs and delays and complications and other stuff associated with that, and there just really wasn't any good option. And as a buyer, like a new buyer of silver myself at that time, I figured there really ought to be something. And it seemed like a perfect mashup of my new passion for silver, which I had been investigating for about 6 to 8 months and doing YouTube videos on as well, and my experience in business dealing with small items, buying, selling, and shipping them around Canada and around the world. And it just seemed like the perfect opportunity, and I went with it. And the business started in Canada only, and then spread to shipping to the USA and to worldwide. And I must say it has been a successful business. Not successful in terms of making a lot of profits for me, but that's not really how I measure success. I measure success in, was the business able to pay its own bills? Yes. Well, aside from me working for free and putting my time and effort into it for free and not getting paid for that, the business certainly was able to pay all its own bills, and built up a list of customers that is, well, I won't tell you exactly how many customers I have, of course, but I have quite a few regular customers who buy maybe an ounce here or there and are just slowly building up their stack that way, and they find it to be invaluable. There's a lot of customers I have who say, I don't have anywhere else to buy silver from. Paying $5 over the price, which is about how much I charge, over the price of the item itself, the coin itself in a coin store, seems like a lot. But if you have no coin store locally, people live in remote locations, or they live in towns without a coin store or bullion dealer, going to eBay is going to cost you at least $10 to $15 an ounce if you're buying individual coins. So the $5 actually worked out for a lot of people. So I've had very good feedback about the website. I've had absolutely no complaints other than people saying that the website itself is simple, or they wished that I would carry more variety of items. But I have a solid reputation built up, and I do consider the business to be very successful, although it did not make me a lot of profits. Essentially, the business model was to purchase coins locally, sometimes in tubes of 25 for a very slight discount. As you know, bullion is money itself, so it's really hard to get discounts on money. But if you buy in bulk, you can get a little bit of a discount sometimes. I did pay street price, though. I don't have any special connection. I would take a tube, break it up into individual coins, and ship those, say, 25 coins to customers in Canada, one at a time. And the price tended to be about $5 over the price that I paid for that coin. And that $5 can be broken down into about $2 to Canada Post, about $1.50 to pay the PayPal fee, and about another $1.50 for fuel, packaging, programming costs, website operation, general business overhead. So sometimes there was a 50-cent profit margin there left over on an order. Sometimes there wasn't, and depending on the price action of silver, sometimes I actually lost $1 or even more on an order, but I never canceled any orders. I never refunded anyone because the price went up since their order, and in that way I just averaged in and just kept on building up my customer base to the point where I do have several dozen regular customers, and I consider the website to be a success. 99% of the time I just ship in a plain white envelope like that, which is really efficient. It's very quick, and that can get anywhere in the world usually within about a week. And I had a lot of success internationally with these $1 coins because they're so thin and they fit into an envelope just with a regular stamp on the front, and you can get that into almost any part of the world, which is really handy for people who don't have access to silver, and sometimes they have tough rules on importing and stuff like that. Envelopes can't be above a certain thickness, or different kinds of problems like that, and so it worked really well for my international customers once I expanded. The obvious question is, if a business is successful, doing well, and at the very least paying its own bills, and not going into the red or anything, at least it's surviving, right? Why would you not continue with that? Well, I do have a few reasons. One, there are more options out there now in Canada. There is silvergoldbull.com. I'm pretty sure that's the name. I think they're based in Alberta. They obviously have a lot of money and a lot of capital invested in their business, and I think it's paid off for them. I think that they're doing fairly well. There's other options in Canada as well now, and so it's not just me anymore, and that's a good thing. I think that competition is necessary in a free market, and as I've always said, if someone can do it better, then I want them to do it. I don't want to be trying to trick people or coerce people or guilt people into using my website or anything. Absolutely not. Hey, I'm not even making a profit off it, so I don't have any interest in trying to trick people into using my site. It's there if I can be of use, and if I can't, then it goes away. And that's what's happening. But anyway, 2 potential complications to my taxes and to life in general. I think that you can understand how dealing in precious metals could complicate things. You've got to deal with security, you have to deal with risk, you have to deal with safes, you got to deal with insurance, or make your own type of insurance. You have to worry about your taxes. At the end of the year, when a business files their taxes, you have to claim everything that you purchased and everything that you sold in and out of your business. And when you deal with precious metals, which essentially is money itself, you have to deal in a large volume to have any kind of profits. So those kind of numbers can look a little bit interesting on a tax form, let's say. So for that reason, I think it's a good idea to scale back and close down. 3, there are several countries that I used to ship to and have regular customers in that have recently banned importing silver, notably India and France. You can no longer import silver or gold into those countries, so that has cut down my customer base a bit. 4, being a dealer in something is often erroneously given as a reason to discredit anyone who deals and also comments in that. And I talk about silver, I talk about the market, I talk about what I think's going on and all that kind of stuff. So my opinion is often discredited.
When you trade one form of money or currency to another, like cash for gold, gold for silver, silver for cash, you're using a money changer. That's right. The bullion dealers are money changers. When you hear news from money changers, bullion dealers, you have to understand that they have an incentive. And their perspective has a certain spin that benefits them. Now, it doesn't mean they're all bad or evil. I'm just saying, those are the money changers. The bullion dealers are actually money changers.
But nevertheless discredited because I have a business that deals in silver. Now, dealing in a couple ounces a week is obviously not enough to change any market, so there would be no reason for me to even attempt to manipulate the market or talk it up or down as if someone with a few hundred viewers could actually change the silver market. I don't think so. But anyhow, people like the Silver Futurist and others have made the connection that anyone who has anything to do with silver in terms of buying and selling it is dishonest and probably should be regarded with extreme skepticism, and anything they say should be considered false until proven true. So it's just it's an uphill battle, and I think that simplifying things and sort of getting out of the dealing business almost altogether should hopefully cut back on those kind of criticisms, even though they are not accurate. It's too hard to fight against that mentality. And lastly, I want to focus on my activism and my education, other things that I'm doing through this channel. And I want to focus on my profitable business. I have a business in collectibles, which is totally unrelated to silver and the topics of this channel, but it's essentially my day job. It's paying the bills, and I want to focus on that. I mentioned before that the website isn't completely closing, and that's true. I'm not going to close the website completely, but you may have noticed in past months that I don't even talk about it anymore on this channel, and I'm going to absolutely cease talking about it from this point on. I haven't linked to the website for about 6 months from any video that I've done. I haven't even linked to it from my YouTube channel anymore, and a lot of people don't even know I have the website in the first place. There's probably going to be a lot of people watching this going, I didn't know that. So that's fine. The website will still be there. It's just going to sort of fade into the background and probably disappear eventually. But it's going to be still there. I'm just going to focus on maples, and I'm going to focus on silver dollars, and that's because these are the two things I can get locally. I can always get maples locally, except during extreme situations. It's happened a few times. And same with these. I can get these almost always, unless there's a huge shortage or something going on. I can almost always get maples, and I can almost always get silver dollars. Sometimes I will carry the silver sativa and silver indica, and I believe that there is a new addition to that series coming out soon, so stay tuned. But I am the distributor for those rounds outside of the USA, so if you want those rounds, you do have to come to my website and get them from there. I don't always have them in stock. Right now, obviously, I do, but I will continue to carry those whenever I can, but I will always have the silver maples and the silver dollars. And I'm no longer going to carry gold. I had gold listed there. It was not very popular. Bars, I only sold really a few over the entire time. They're essentially the same price as 10 maples minus about $5. So not really much of a difference. The wildlife series, now that that's over, obviously I can get rid of those off my site. And eagles I sometimes sold on the site, and other different rounds and stuff like that. I tried over the years, but these are the mainstays of the site. So in simplifying it, it's a no-brainer really to go down to these 3 items. Another thing that's changing, I no longer ship to the USA. That shouldn't really be a surprise, even though my channel is essentially made up of Americans. Love you guys, but they don't tend to be customers of mine. Almost all my customers are from Canada and from overseas. I do have a couple of regulars from the USA, so to them I would say email me and we'll talk about setting something up. But for the most part, there's almost nobody from the US ever using the site at all. And that's simply because there are so many options for buying bullion in the US. You have so many better options. Except in the case of perhaps buying 1 ounce, a 1 ounce maple. Might be cheaper on my site than it is anywhere else, even to the USA, because a lot of other places have a minimum charge for shipping, like $15 or whatever, and I ship in a very simple and efficient manner, so I can do it only for a little bit over the price of the coin. But other than that, it just really isn't worth it to go to the US. So in simplifying the site, it's just much easier just to get rid of that entire option. Other things that are changing, well, I've changed and completely rewritten the FAQ, which is absolutely mandatory reading for anyone who wants to be a customer. If you make an order without reading that, your order will be refunded. It's not very long to read, and it's very important to understand how the site works, so that is mandatory reading. And other things that have changed are maximum order sizes. I used to only allow 1 ounce per order, and now the way that I'm doing it, I can have unlimited amount. So you can put 13 ounces, or you can buy 7 silver dollars, or whatever. That's only for Canadians. International, it's still limited to 1 ounce per order. but that seems to work out nicely anyway. So there are a few changes, and yeah, the website is much simpler. It's not going to be discussed anymore. I'm not going to talk about it. I'm not going to advertise it. And if it goes away, it goes away. But I think for those people who use it, it's invaluable. I've been told many times, so that's why I'm not going to completely close it. And essentially now it's just a way for me and maybe a few dozen of my friends to get some silver out there. And I'm just going to continue the same methods of shipping and that kind of stuff that I've always done. It works really well, and I'm excited about this change. I think that it's going to be a positive thing, and I think that it shows that I'm willing to change with the environment around me. I've always said that if the site wasn't doing what it was intended to do, then it would just go away. And it's kind of going away, but not completely. So hope that answers a few questions. And feel free to post your comments down below or your questions, and we'll carry on the discussion there. Otherwise, this is probably about the last time you're going to hear me talk about CanadianSilverBullion.com on this channel. Talk to you guys soon. That is... Nope. That was yours.